Thank you, June, for your kind introduction. Good morning, or actually good morning or afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, so my presentation is actually we're trying to start a project using Internet of Things based ANSHM for auto monitor a pedestrian bridge actually on our campus in our university. And yesterday, Professor Tommy Chen and Shane, they have presented some interesting application using Internet of Things for soil settlement, right? So I think their work is quite interesting, and our work is really at the infancy stage at this stage because we just started this project. So there are a lot of things to learn, and I would really welcome comments and suggestions from audience or from the expert in this area at the end. So the second author is our PhD student, just started last month. So this is, you can imagine that this is really preliminary thinking or some thought or some proposal. And Associate Professor Yung Zhu is our expert in sensing technology in our school. And we also involve Dr. Shoja Jamali, which is a former graduate of Tommy. Yeah, he's now with KBR, and he's also have the common interest in this area. So we group this as a team to trying to do something for our bridge, because the bridge itself, this is the bridge. The bridge itself is kind of vibrate quite significantly, I would say. Okay, so I'll cover some of the information about footbridges and IoT-based ANSHM, and also talk about our proposal and also key factors to be considered to carry out this research. Okay, so the footbridges are normally designed for pedestrians, and sometimes it can also include cyclists, and because they are lighter than the vehicular bridge, so they are more vulnerable to vibration. And the span range is sort of classified into sort of three kind of packages. And now these are we collected few bridges all in Australia, and including all different types. And obviously they're not only iconic landmarks, but also they provide safe crossing across water, traffic, and railroads. And I would say that the Matagara Bridge in Perth, I would say that this is the most beautiful footbridge in Australia, if you agree with me. So, well, just like other vehicular bridges, footbridges also has collapse cases has occurred for a number of footbridges. So here we have summarized a few typical ones that have caused significant damage, like economic losses, as well as human casualties. And the reason for those collapses, it could be overloading, and it could be during construction, things are not going right during construction. That the very famous case is the Florida International University, the campus bridge. And then it could be due to corrosion and also extreme weather, as well as the strong large traffic, for example, train underneath the bridge and causing vibration of the bridge itself. So for example, that Troja footbridge is about 30 years old, and sensors have been installed on that bridge, but no measurement has been found to be outside the normal parameter. But 3 weeks after the inspection, the bridge collapsed. So this is what Tommy always say, that ANSHM is not just installing sensors, right? So it's not clear that whether the data is not of quality, or the data is not interpreted properly, or some other reason. The data, you collect the data, but you may get different interpretation from the data, and then your inspection hasn't served the purpose to save that bridge. So that means that, more research needs to be done in this area. And now, like this Millennium Bridge, everyone knows that this one is interesting. On the day of opening, up to, I think, around 90,000 people crossed the bridge. And at any one time, up to 2,000 people were on the bridge. And because, the natural sway motion of people on the bridge can cause small side sway oscillation, which in turn will cause people to sway in step. And this will increase the amplitude of oscillation. So the maximum sway, I think, of this bridge on that day is about 70 millimeter. And but this synchronous lateral excitation due to resonance structural response was not anticipated in the design stage. That also means that, this kind of lateral vibration can occur well before the vibration level that can cause damage of a structure. So that means that in the design stage, we also need to consider the serviceability or vibrational serviceability of footbridge. So slender footbridges are vulnerable to vibration, right? At a very low magnitude. For example, the pedestrian walking load. So the resonant vibration can occur when the fundamental frequencies of bridge are very close to the frequency of the pedestrian walking load. And once we know the mass damping and the stiffness as well as external forces, then the dynamic response of bridge can be determined. And in Australia, the bridge design code stipulates that for the pedestrian bridges with the resonant frequency for vertical vibration of less than 5 hertz should be investigated as a serviceability limit state problem. So Internet of Things, is actually refers to cyber network of physical objects, and it's a combination of sensors, software, and other technologies to connect and exchange data with other devices or systems over the internet. And it has, with these technological developments and the Wi-Fi networks, the structural health monitoring has been shifted from traditional wire-based method to the use of IoT-based platform. So now the comprehensive structural health assessment can be performed using the real data, real-time sensor data from at the IoT based platform, and then the data can be stored in cloud based platform, and those data can be accessed remotely, and also the connectivity of all the devices can be improved. So in overall, the IoT based ANSHM has shown to be able to improve efficiency of the existing ANSHM systems. So typically, IoT for structural health monitoring application consists of 5 layers. So it's from the data collection and then transfer to the server, the data transfer through a gateway. And then of course there will be some filtering work be done through by the microcontroller. And then the data analysis will be done using cloud computing, based on some machine learning techniques. And then the ANSHM data will be interpreted in a proper way. And finally, if there is a warning, then it will be sent to engineers or asset managers to consider and to inform decision making. Now although IoT-based ANSHM is quite efficient, as you can see, but the challenges still remain, right? So in terms of data acquisition, we know that there will be a lot of data, big data, and also power, use a lot of power, energy, and sometimes the sensor may be of poor reliability, and also signal transmissions range can be limited. So all of these contribute to the compromised quality of data. And in the data processing analysis stage, again mentioned yesterday by Tommy's group, you know, what machine learning technique should be used. So there's a challenge in selecting those appropriate machine learning technique for a particular application. And also, how do we interpret the data in a meaningful way? And of course, for civil engineers, they need to be trained to be able to implement IoT and ANSHM together. And for the decision making, there are inherent uncertainties in the empirical formulas in machine learning, which can cause errors for estimating the structural health monitoring indicators. And also, of course, at the moment, the provisions in the code is not really, you know, adequate. So now, based on those, we have summarized some research gaps in IoT-based ANSHM in 3 different areas. So, for IoT-based ANSHM platform, advanced sensors and robust devices, have been established, but mainly for demonstration objectives. So the full-scale IoT using smart sensors for real structural health monitoring is still limited, and because there are potential difficulties like the sensor, you know, the deployment and so on. And then integration of the 2 things. We know that the wireless-based sensor network have been widely used for large structure for long-term monitoring. However, when you can combine the 2 things together, again, it's at a very early stage. And for full bridge, again, as we know, for vehicular bridge, a lot of work has been done. But for full bridge, not much work has been reported. Okay, so now this is the case study. This is the bridge is at Griffith University Gold Coast campus, connecting the main campus with some, you know, other student accommodation and other buildings on the other side, right? And this bridge is about 96 meters long with a main span and a back span, and there are 5 sets of anchors connecting the cables. And also there's a backstay anchor to make sure that to limit the deformation of the tower. But the issue is we do feel that vibration is quite noticeable, and based on level 2 inspection, we found some corrosion in boards as well as some anchor boards missing in the apartment. Okay, so at the first stage, we wanted to install some sensors on the deck to be able to test our system to see whether it works or not. So 5 sensors will be placed on the deck on both sides across the deck, and then to be able to see the longitudinal and the torsional mode shapes. And now, again, using this IoT-based ANSHM, we wanted to use like a development board and the expansion board as a sensor node to collect data, and then filter the data using this microcontroller, and the data will be transferred to the server through gateway, and the server will perform cloud computing using appropriate machine learning technique, and finally some performance indices will be developed based on the condition, health condition, and the human comfortability. So finally, some key factors to be considered in the development work. So location, of course, will be finally confirmed by numerical model, and we want to validate our system using a laboratory test. And energy consideration will be probably considered using solar panel and also event-driven data collection. And then in terms of data, the analysis using machine learning model, with both model-based and the data-driven method will be used. And then we will use this case study bridge to collect data and refine our model, and finally to obtain some structural health monitoring indicators, considering both human-induced vibration and ambient vibration. And then finally, the performance indexes in the form of serviceability limit state parameters will be developed and hopefully provide some guidance to for industry application. Okay, so thank you. Finally, I would just like a preliminary thought about this pedestrian bridge, and then yeah, welcome. I will welcome the suggestions. Thank you.
For this particular case for data acquisition.
Sorry, could you please repeat?
So my question was how the energy been supplied for the data acquisition and
Oh, we wanted to maybe use a solar panel.
yeah.
Yeah. To supply power. And then we will try to see whether we can reduce the quantity of data so that we only collect data at intervals rather than the whole day. That will save energy as well. Yeah.
Sure.
And
I
then-
wonder if you've considered utilization of like piezoelectric or triboelectric sensors, like self-powered approach for health monitoring as an alternative.
Yeah, we could consider those. And also the gateway is a low power kind of platform. So we will consider those, whichever way that can save energy.
Thank you
Because
so
we
much.
aim at cost effectiveness.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes, David.
Thank you, Hong, for an excellent presentation. You touched on resonance and the saga of the Millennium Bridge, which we all know. This may be very early question. For your bridge, do you know the natural early frequencies and the mode shapes? Are they totally vertical or are they coupled?
Yeah, they are mainly vertical. In the design stage, actually, a company has done some preliminary finite element analysis and found the frequency about 2.2.
So they have no lateral components?
Laterally, not so significant, but we wanted to install sensor at critical locations so that we can see whether they are lateral or torsional effect.
Thank you.
Yeah, torsional vibration. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Hong, just an offer, you might know I've done some work in this area. I have a laboratory footbridge for this research, and if you want to practice or use it to demonstrate or validate some of your work or some of your ideas, be very welcome to collaborate.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Full scale, 9 meters.
Yeah.
Low natural frequency. Perfect.
Sure. Yeah, wonderful.
I think.
Thank you. Yeah, we will probably also use Tommy and Shane's little what do you call it? Carlo for deflection monitoring. Yeah. It's all right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
I think probably good idea, and then we probably in the website which